Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this brand new series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel, featuring the Zunbil dynasty, which is a Turco-Hephthalite Zunist dynasty, as that's who we are. We have expanded our territory greatly. Well, one was done by war and the other was by inheritance. Large part of it, inheritance. The land of the Sistan, or Sakistan as it was formerly known back in Sassanian times, now belongs to me. I did this because I killed my cousin. Yes, he was the only one. But the three brothers of the Safarid dynasty, also assassinated by me. Yes, because that was part of the aspiration, which I will get renowned, but I will only get it if I complete the main objective, and that is to completely control Zunbil, which is Zabulistan as a whole, which we do. But now all we need to do, as I remain Zunist pagan obviously, is to be an independent ruler, which I am, who is of king rank or holds at least 12 counties. Well, I am not the Shah yet, and we have about 9, so we need 3 more counties. Although, as much as I would like to expand, but we are in a phase of stabilization where conquest wars are a no-go, unless you have title claimants, which I do. 2 of them, in fact. Upper Gur, which is due to, blunder results from their Chancellor. And the other is Urgun, which is in Shahi territory, which we fought them recently, after they had their own shortcomings and such. Despite the fact that historically the Hindu Shahi and the Zunbil were allies against, Islamic expansion, mainly the Safarids, which the realm now no longer exists. It's split into different parts. Many different parts. And also, I failed to notice this part here that was conquered by the Turkic territories, Turkic realm. Those are Alpars. You're wondering who? Those are Avars, the Avars that comes from Pannonia. And some of you are wondering, how did it get all the way over here? Well, simple enough. This is how you get it. You request incursion. It's to pick any Turkic realm. Any Turkic nearby. Yes, a Turkic warlord has to be a Turkic heritage, and they'll come down and help you and take a land for themselves. Either for themselves or, well, again, it's something that I don't really plan on doing because I can't really afford them. I do have the money now if I want to start one, but I have no interest in that. Plus, the money is going elsewhere. $150 is also good. And we also recently taken Ghazna. And also I found out why. This is something for you to note, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why is there an error for modifier get tooltip? Why is that there and it's hiding whatever modifier is on this land? Well, it's because of one of the mods I'm using. I found out that it was the cultural minorities and religious minorities and cultural minorities, that mod that I'd like to use in the last couple of series that I've done. Well, it's not up to date, and I thought, okay, we'll do that just like every other series. And I found out this causes that, unless it's updated. Which, the mod creator that, even though it came from the Rajas of Asia, may update that in the future. But, well, then again, you know that term, fog of war, and it's like you don't know what's out there, and you don't even know what the land has. So this kind of gives you the idea of what the land doesn't have, but there is a way to check that. Let me find it. Because there's 2 things. One is provincial priority. That's due to the previous owner who decided to invest in gold to increase the popular opinion. At least the offensive war thing will go down. And the other thing is something that I will be doing in this episode to start with because it's cheaper. There's an ancient stone monument that is located in Ghazna. But before I do that, if you're going to be doing some traveling and at least you're getting a little bit good of an income, we need bodyguards. And I have recently invited a few knights to come over here and help us out here. So don't spend anything right now at this moment. Just wait it out. And plus I need the stress to go down. And also ransom is accepted. They'll pay me some gold. And others will be living with hooks. Which I really don't need that at the moment. $10 more gold. A knight has arrived, and we've also swayed this man, which we could finish that. I recall there was someone else who I needed to sway with, but I'm trying to remember who. Ah, yes, you. I need to sway you. To get a positive opinion, he'll pay me more. Pay me more and provide levies more, as he's one of the taxpayers. It'll take 10 years to get Ghazna under full control, but there is an alternate way to make the progress go a little faster. Give me a moment. How much? 35, and I'll gain a bit of stress because I'm shy, but I need good, loyal men. And you, sir, get to be my first bodyguard. Because I need bodyguards for my travels. Okay. There we go. I mentioned there is an alternate way. 1 second. So, I was looking through various records and stumbled upon an old survey of tax farming in Gardiz. Though I braced myself for bad news, my tax collector Baka seems more eager than worried. I found out, he continues, that Kava Adel of Gardiz is in a habit of perpetuously deducting significant amounts from the taxes he sends you. I suggest we imprison him at once. Unless we send a signal to the other suggests that we tolerate this behavior. However, there is a complication. He is quite a capable administrator, and popular with the people in both his own holding and all of Ghazna. So, he's the mayor there. Yay! Oh, don't do that. I need the control to get back up. Eek. Don't want to lose stewardship. But I'd like to have less stress gain. That would be ideal. Intimidating the locals, though, by killing them would increase the control growth. But dread increases. Give me a moment to think about it. It's 90% chance, and I'm the man of intrigue. I'll say, I will send some men in the night to nail him to a cross. Plus, he's a terrible Buddhist. He's a sinner. So therefore, it's right. My cruelty was rewarded. I've gained 20 dread. And now here's this new man who is going to be running things here. Where the hell is he? All the way in Somalvasi in Sripuri. Well, if you can make it all the way over there, then begin your administration, which you'll do terrible there, but at least he's terrified of me because he's content and shy. So at least we have someone that'll be more loyal. Now, I mentioned alternative means. Even though I would be getting even more dread by this, but harsh rule would have a lowered popular opinion, but it makes control growth go up faster. A little faster. But I think what we just did here is good enough. With the locals intimidated, it'll be 1 month. So it'll take us 8 years. Although I could accelerate it further, but I think we've done enough for the time being. Plus, money's going to be going elsewhere, which is to hire more knights for more potential bodyguards. And those people here are intimidated enough to consider dropping the Liberty faction against me. The Manichaeans have a Yamag. There's no local Manichaeans here, but there is a Sogdian Zoroastrian that likely did an uprising and took the land that was once theirs. So, potential ally in future. Independence War. Banu wants to break out. I just dropped my jaw. Because the Tengrists have reformed themselves this early. Kagan Azur, a prominent figure amongst the Tengrists, has gathered every shaman in the land to discuss their beliefs and establish an official doctrine for the pagan faith. Impassioned shamans are already talking about launching great holy wars to spread their new faith across the world, and are requesting the aid of the spirits to help guide the faith through these turbulent times. The burgeoning movement has decided not to instate a religious head, prefer instead to let each shaman determine what teachings are appropriate for their own temple. It does not matter what these heathens believe, but I am shocked that the Kyrgyz Khaganate has reformed the Tengrist faith because they have 1, 2... How the heck did they reform it? So I guess they got 1, 2, but they don't have. There, limit to that. No, they're the same as the old versus new. Old Tengri is more dominant, obviously, with new Tengri. Again, everything remains the same. They just don't have a religious head. But we still consider them as hostile, should we ever come into contact between us. Anyways, continue with your business. Good to know. The leaders of the local steppe community, since we just talked about the people of the steppe just recently, they presented me with the most spectacular gift of Zunist religious objects, such as statues inlaid with precious gems, colorful paintings, and other similar items. Though not everyone in their community necessarily shares the same beliefs, people of many faiths lived with one another along the Silk Road for centuries, sometimes peacefully, sometimes warring against each other. So it is unsurprising these notables know exactly what kind of religious artifacts to present to me. Most welcome gift, 50 piety. Thank you. But please remember, I need to get up to 1,000 to be a devoted servant. And to be a devoted servant, I would like to restore the idol of Zun in Zamindua. Which we need to get up there, which shouldn't be too hard. Okay, let me see you. Oh, he's the more, yeah. I mean, not talking about the evils, I know more lawyers too, but that man is a sadistic, and if I don't get him on my side, that man is more, it's more head trick. But get him in, he'll appreciate this. But what, are you qualified enough to be my bodyguard as well? Average. Well, wait for one more. We gotta wait for one more night to come in, and now we'll hire him. And I really need to get the stress down, which I will when I go travel. This is my second son, Vitana. But as you know, the current effects of the House Unity is competitive. So titles will be divided equally between children. If you go all the way there, it would be antagonistic, which is divided equally, like inherit equally, inherit equally. If it was impassive, all children inherit, but the lion's share of the titles will go to the heir. All children inherit. Harmonious. All children inherit. Lion's share title. Divided equally. Okay, I get it. I think it would be wise to get back up to passive. Which there's no reason to have this now. So we've got to steer the House Unity towards harmonious again. Which it'll cost you 200 piety, which is fair enough, but you could do that every 10 years. So, as house head, my word carries a great deal of weight among the members of my house. With careful words and actions, I can nudge my fellow members to behave in certain ways, as to greatly affect our combined unity. So, trying to steer it back to the right direction, but it seems pretty precarious. That just depends on how we behave as a whole. And if you're desperate, spend money to visit a brothel. No need to do that. Formed alliance and attracted. It's going towards unrest for now. And Vitana is sickly, just like my firstborn. Take another unevolved realm as detracted. Again, it would be wise to go for this, towards this path. And to reduce the hostile scheme success chance if anybody dares to get me. He's here. Find a new faith in Persia. So he has become in Asharism. That's Shia. That's what this is. Etna Ashari, otherwise known as the 12 Shiites or Imams. I believe that spiritual and political successor of Prophet Muhammad are 12 infallible Imams, starting with Imam Ali. These Imams are free of worldly desires and practice the utmost responsibility in their task of upholding Islam. And Asharis believe that the 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi, will one day return to earth and bring justice to the world. So this is what the Tahirid has chosen. They're no longer Sunni, they're Shia now. And it's become a bit more accepted in Zions at the most. While Kurmazda, the Sogdian form of Zoroastrianism, still holds strong. Human. That's how his name is pronounced. Human, not human. It's what we could best assume. Right. Who else wants to be my bodyguard? We got a good one, but we need another one who's qualified before I can... Come on. Yes, so grateful. Respect me a little more, and then I will start swaying you. And since I'm feeling confident in myself, we should go visit that ancient stone monument. Well, ancient stone monuments might be a dime a dozen for some scholars, but there are some which intrigue even those without scholarly inclinations, inspiring the average person to admire and better understand it. So I will gain piety and lose stress for this. Just something I want in both. Prehistoric stone monuments can be found in many places around the world. These monoliths, whose purpose is often uncertain or at least contested, inspired many legends and myths for later cultures that discovered them. And I'm sure in this land, with this mountainous country, It isn't surprising to find ancient stone monuments. But travel there is dangerous, though not as dangerous as it was during the unrest phase. So I suggest you get some mercenary guards and a higher mountaineer. So if anybody else wants to come, although doesn't matter if you're still gonna come with me, as well as all of my fellow fighting men. They could join up with me. So let's go pay a visit to that, shall we? Need to get used to being a traveler here in Ismaili Sindhi. Mahayana Khorasani with a gout. On our way. Our journey is violently interrupted by the sound of tearing flesh and gnashing jaws, and the desperate cries of a man is about to meet his end. The noise is so horrific that it must have come from the depths of the void. That's what they call it in the underworld for the Zunist perspective, from the depths of the void. Attempted to attract the source, to find a desperate knight struggling with a wild wolf. His blade is wedged between the beast's jaws, but his grip's beginning to falter. This man deserves my help. I'm a brave man. I beat the wolf. And this man, who he's called the Craven, well, get well soon, my man. Might be useful recently. We are completely out of candied figs already. My knight Sangid, the stars nervously. And veiled cutlets, and fine cheeses, and sambusas, and even turnips. We should have packed more food. There's not a single crumb left, and nothing to eat as far as the eye could see. We're gonna starve. Perhaps shouldn't have had that triple serving of veiled cutlets of almond sauce yesterday. Oh. Ooh. Oh, hope we can manage. Wish we could leave with those words. I've become malnourished. My health is poor. But let's just hope nothing gets worse on our way up there. And hopefully don't get sick and don't get injured. Anyway, shape or form. As I stand in my dining room, warming my hands against the fire and lost in my thoughts, a unknown maid approaches me, tears in her eyes. After a elaborate courtesy, she looks me in the eye and says, "My Zamindawasha, your sickly offspring, the beloved Vitana, didn't resist the illness that befell him and died some moments ago." Without any words to say, she just stands in front of me, tears flowing, waiting for my next command. Oh, poor child. In the Dark Ages, the death rate of infants was high indeed. If Vitana was born a sickly child, unfortunately death took him away. Oh, I had many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All things you would learn, experience, do. There were so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day. But now, none of those things will ever come to be. Rest in peace, little Vitana, as I become more and more stressed about this. As we continue to travel in this unforgiving country. Unforgiving, I say. But here we are. Come here just out of curiosity. I've taken some time to travel to the more remote parts of Ghazna, where there is a great ancient stone monument I was just curious and wondered what it was like. Upon arriving at the location, I walk up to the monument to examine it further. Though its shape is crude, it was clearly carved by human hands. It's also an impressive size. I can see why the locals have been unable to move it anywhere. One has to wonder how it got here in the first place. I'll spend a couple of hours enjoying the scenery and relaxing, because I deserve some relaxation. But now the journey home is about as cruel as getting there. As we pass through the barony of Mokon, a jubilant local approaches my entourage. His smile stretches from ear to ear. I discern he's offering a warm welcome, but the finer aspects of his speech are sadly lost on me. Be that as it may, the way we my set of companions and turned to his joyful greeting, I can hardly imagine a more excellent choice to practice my Sogdian. Oh yes, Cancer. He'll do no good for us. Let us simply have a pleasant conversation. Attempt to engage in a conversation about the similarities between the differences between East Iranian and Sogdian. Bactrian and Sogdian. I'm sure there's some similarities. Got another claim. Sadari of Damashan. That's 2 against you, Gurids, even though we're allies. This is where starvation began. No events on our way back except for the Sogdian man I just had a conversation with. But now, thank Zun. We are hungry. We just have to find our way and be careful of what you do. Do not go on a pilgrimage until you are better. I mean, both to be too easy, so it would have to be either Multan or Nishapur. The longer the pilgrimage, the more pious it is. And I wouldn't even dream going to Egypt. One independent realm broke out. Chitra. That's part of Kabbalistan, yes. So my idea for future is conquer Kabul, get Chitra. In fact, I would... who knows at this point. Even the Samanids are having the worst of it. Claim, 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 claim. Everybody's fighting for claimants. Where do they go? You know what we should do? We should go raiding. Kunavar managed to show his curiosity of his ancestry is growing to be more like a child of House Zunbil. Kunavar and Zunbil is brave. We should start raiding. Let somebody else do it. Like this man. As much as I would like to lose the stress here, but I'll buy my life straight focused. I don't want to risk Lover's Pox. I'll get it down by other means, do not worry. What are you doing? Sponsored conquest of Kutal. Oh, you're intervening on an ally. Let's see. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Sogdian language. Endless hours practicing decent, sleepless nights moving inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate Mishak's accent, and I'm sure they would be impressed by my results. And of course, Sogdian peasants now respect me a great deal more. I feel accomplished. Acquire a claim on the de jure Persian Empire. Whatever events that come up, you gotta stick with the options that goes towards piety. Because one day I will do the pilgrimage. Possibly in 2 years' time, once I get rid of this health modifier here. Even though raiding does cause to go towards concession, but unrest is going to be likely. Do it as such. When we go back to unrest, then we will go conquer Kabul. And then meet up with Bamiyan and try to make him join our realm. Because of the alliance between us. What is the strength of the Habari Sultanate? That's something I would like to know. There's good loot in there. 3 months! Oh, because the fort level is high, because Citadel of Alexander. No nucleus to color. This sprawling citadel was built by the legendary Alexander the Great himself, overlooking the ancient fertile valley of the Hari River. This citadel, like its namesake, is truly a force to be reckoned with. As a Minowatch, I've been obliged to attend a local wrestling tournament, but the contest has been delayed, and the tournament won't start for at least another hour. My wife, Benipshan, is here, and as always, being an insufferable lout. Her constant complaint is making everyone even more miserable than normal. Meanwhile, my courtier, Mole, is sitting by herself at a stand, looking quite lonely indeed. Eek. I've wasted enough time on this disaster. I don't want to lay with anybody else. My neck and shoulders are aching, and I'm only halfway through the pile of tedious petitions I must read it. So there's a knock at my study door. Very well, come in. The door slowly opens all the way, but see no one dared to account for the knock. Who is there? I asked, annoyed. No response. So the door suddenly slams shut, a loud bang. Spirits torment me. Well, since we're in the middle of a raid, and I want to get up to devoted service so we can restore the idol, for once, I will focus on my piety. Big gain. It's yesterday, meaning. Vinamag, my useful marshal, suggests you could teach me his trade, thus preparing me for a better warfare life. If I spend every day close to him, while it performs his job, besides attracting the envy of the other counselors, the offer is tempting, but certainly spending so much time with him that I will neglect the other areas of managing my realm. You know, I would like to switch my focus to Marshall, since we're going to be an expansive power. And at the same time, that I would like to get one more perk with this before moving on to strategy focus, since I do have the advantage, but I don't have any commander traits, which is something that I am severely lacking. So I'll plunge into martial matters, just this once. This will neglect my duties just about everything, and my counselors respect me less. Help me. So no income now. So now you ask me to approve the opinion of this man. So thank you for the heads up. The condemned thief jerks at the end of the rope and then goes still. The crowd encounters mutters their approval and begins to disperse. But where's the cheering, the groaning, the terror? I could improve public executions of husband and boss with one simple change. So I'll say more of them. We got your courtier, but more importantly, we got your wife, who is denounced. Okay? Got no money in you? Okay then. Yeah, this curious animal reminded me of you. I'm sure it'll bring you much joy. It has been given a name, Wusug. Sure, it's a horse of great character. No horse. Again, when I expand the realm more and we gain better taxation, then I will start caring more regarding animal care. So, get this creature on my site. Thanks. I had to sell it. Hey, amen. Oh, and they have been in debt in a while. We should raid them next. Take advantage of the situation. looks like they've been raided recently. My efforts to improve my relationship with the local steppe community are bearing fruit by listening to their concerns and working together to improve local conditions. They have, in return, helped me to find ways to bring in resources from near and far for infrastructure projects, and their leaders often ready to support me to quell any sign of discontent from their brethren. Together, we'll make this land better, stronger, more prosperous. Major infrastructure aid. Oh, that would definitely help here. They've taken over a part of Yezd, Mafasa to be exact. Okay then, tell you what, head home, and then while you're there, reinforce yourselves, and then start raiding the Habar Sultanate for the time being. Because the realm has been weakened in depth considerably. Gold and prestige, here we come. And also please remember, once the Master has gone away, then I will go on a pilgrimage, so I can get more piety. As I lean over to the map of the council chamber, a sunny creak turns my head towards the door. My son Gunavarman appears in the hallway and walks into the room. He looks at me with an inscrutable look for a moment, then walks over me, wrapping me in a tight hug. I look at him, I hit a tear in my eye while my hand is stroking his hair in an effort to replicate the gesture. To be honest, you should go for Marshall. You're a good son. Don't cry. Do not cry. That's 60 gold. Stop being a raiding army so you can reinforce once you're there. Then after 3 months of recovery, then you will begin a raid. Because of reinforcing costs money. While hosting lords and ladies from realms near and far, well, some opportunities to portray my stewards that my kind in a good light presented us. Oh Lord, pray tell, who is the most stately person you ever heard of? Why, that's you, of course. Should go sway one of your bodyguards. Human. that man. Sure you don't want to? I'll get a weak hook on you. Who knows what I'm needed for? It's a landed ruler, so that's a good idea for it. Now. Unfortunately, there's not much loot. This place is corrupt. This one's more valuable. But we have to raid there first to get there. So go for it. Almost proved to be a difficult job, but I'm worried that she might become the black sheep of the family. She's craven. Big guy, you ain't gonna inherit the land. Inherit the land, inherit the title of the land. What the f are you trying to say? No doubt that the Indus Valley has riches, especially down there. Daughter, obey. Result in 100. Okay. There's nothing down there. No longer my bodyguard. Died in his sleep at 34. In his prime. In his sleep. Right this way, and then after that, get back up here and cash it in. That's what's gonna happen next. Don't want to overstay our welcome. Look at you. You're raiding with no money here. You may even get half a gold. Now this is where the real riches get. Especially it has states of Rome. So it's likely that I'll go on a pilgrimage to Multan because it seems that place looks a little less dangerous compared to the drylands up there. I mean, sure, there's drylands down there, but even though we're raiding it and you're low into control, Multan's up there. Keep that well in mind. Home to a special building, the Fort of Multan. Alright, one more. And Rajanpur. Then after we raid that, then get back home. Our treaty with them expires in 9 months, but we can only engage them in another war as soon as we get to unrest, because I wish to conquer Kabul. And we'll meet up with Bamiyan, and then they'll join our realm. So that makes the realm size to 11 by the end of this. And also get Chitral as well. And then, mission complete. Your aspirations complete. 71 gold, alright. Get out of here. They'll be back in 6 months. Ormuzd. That sounds like Ormazd. So that's a Zoroastrian Persian influence name of Aston. Should be more specific. The hour is late, and yet I could see a flicker of light coming from the next room, where the door's been left ajar. I gently push the door open and find my knight Baka with heavy eyes bent over the ledger, another stack of ledgers standing next to him. Lives said and noticed my person. Oh, forgive me, my lord, but I still have to sort through these latest tax accounts. Good, my vassals expect their tax to be handled efficiently. Every taxpayer that's assigned them, they'll look at me more positively. Not a day goes by without some new, inconsequential matter being brought to my attention. Today it seems like violence and has turned to waste my time in a petty dispute. The more I listen to their reasons, the more I'm convinced the entire hearing is beneath my concern. Well, I don't like either of these men, personally. Although I might become stressed again. So, I'll teach you to waste court's time. 69% chance that the petitioners cower before my wrath and gain quite a bit of dread. And get a weak hook on both of them. And also get 900 intrigue dice. 30% chance I lose the dread, gain less intrigue dice on points, and then they'll like me less and good enough. They cowered. Good. Here's something I want to do. I don't want to be assassinated, but now I want to switch my focus to strategy. Since I've decided to go this path a bit. That's the first thing you're going to go for. There's the cost. If I'm a brave man, then I want to prove my bravery as a great commander. And I'm not in an assassination mood at this time. I smoked all my enemies. Smite all my enemies, you should say. 71 gold and prestige. Spend so you can recover, and we'll use that money to go on a pilgrimage. Need less than 700. So ideally it has to be a pious pilgrimage. Gotta go to Multan, as it's fairly short distance. They're basically similar distance. So it's far too short. And of course I wouldn't even dream to go the heck all the way over to Hoan. So Multan is the ideal place to be. But there's a problem with that. It's the desert country. So ideally you need a desert warrior. And even that is not enough, because of the holder's opinion. The control, which was further exacerbated by the recent raids, basically there's no safe place to be. Unless you want to take an alternative path. Like say, how about up here? Although that would take a bit longer, is it not? Slightly. Okay, I decided. Take the less dangerous route. But still nonetheless dangerous. Oh, where is it? There's another way that can help me. See, that would help me, but I don't have that. Because ideally, I would like to make a little bit of fortune on the way. I'll go for zealotry. Hope I don't die during my travels. But hey, once you get the pilgrim trait, it does increase your travel speed and safety slightly. Go ahead. Yes, while preparing for my journey, I had a sense of serenity and knowing that everything will be alright. I'm pleased to embark on this pilgrimage to Multan in order to get even closer to Zun. Now, more than ever, I feel certain to watch over me on my travels. Can't wait. It may be time for a break from Gunavar's routine last plan. They give a good time to pass along supplies the house and build to him. He's already brave. So Gunavar should discover who he is on his own. We've encountered many Zunist pilgrims on our route thus far, and all have been pious and devoted to Zun's will. But we soon come across the company of a group of strange travellers from distant lands. They introduce themselves as Desoists, and it tells us the route is sacred for their people too. Is that so? Only Zunists may take this journey. So, this is due to combined diplomacy and learning challenge against him. 49% chance that I convert the pilgrims, he'll be my friend and he'll be a Zunist. 54% chance that I fail to convert him and then he becomes my rival. Crud. What is he like? Oh, he's a nice man. Conversion failed. Made an enemy out of him. Turning a bend on the path, we come across a group covered in dust, emerging from what must have been an impressive tomb. They hoist burlap sacks that jingle and jangle, weighed down by the trinkets they dug out of the ancient building. Times are hard, dear, said Mindawasha. Our families must be fed. We're not doing harm to anyone among the living. The leader looks up at us with trepidation. He clearly realizes it does not look good for him. Thus, the Mindawasha deserves his cut. So our travel companion Zunbil helps me examine it. 54% chance that I pick out a precious treasure. 46% chance that nothing special catches my eye and gain money. Got some valuable bottles. That's good. Maul's in charge of our food supplies. Sheevishly revealed our provisions are null but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold covered with bread and fresh produce, and we've quickly used up the remaining dried food. Fire grows hungry as the dust begins to fall. The locals around here must have something. The region we're traveling through all suffered from an unusual amount of rain recently. Though it is clear it has made the roads muddy, most of it has been manageable until today. But some of our luggage trains got stuck in the mud, and we've had considerable effort and time in getting the animals and supplies unstuck and carrying them to dry ground. I hate travel. 5 days to ledge. I hear Muzz gunshots and panic. Still there to hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking or my pages finally snapping. Step on the dirt to see the splinter remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. I'm sorry, my lady. It was my turn as looking at fell asleep in the reins. Shovel supplies are on. I'll ride rough for now. So that's a week's delay then. Combined. This is going to be a hard travel, you know. By traveling together with Azam and his merchant caravans, I've come across business opportunities I would not have otherwise. Wall and Paul were able to secure a favorable trade deal with the merchants we met there. I could accept the deal as is, or risk it and haggle to get even more out of the other merchants. But I might refuse, and the deal just might fall through. Oh yeah, they ain't good. So we should stick to the initial agreement. So we gained 43 gold, which is a pretty good amount. We're traversing desert mountains on the outskirts of Asvanjay. We were suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders, out for blood. We're so close to holding, surely will the Tamadjeva-san help. As time drags on and we're chased by the scoundrels for the longest avoiding battle, because painfully clear that no help is coming. How could a ruler let malicious riders like these inhabit his borders? My knight Mareg rides up next to me, a solemn look on his eyes. We both know the tactic we've practiced in the past. Oh dear. You're one of our good ones. But remember, there's a 43% chance of death, which seems likely at this point. Or just let him die. No, we stand as one. So 29% chance that I'll be an unyielding defender, survive unscathed. 13% that I become wounded. And 13% chance that I become one-legged. I became one-legged. Oh dear. What in the world has happened to my son, Gunavarman? Firuz had been. He refused to name who did this to him. Was it an older child, or did he pester a noble to the point of fury? That is all stopped. This is all but stopped talking. He constantly hides away when there's people nearby. Poor boy. Yeah, boy, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. Tried through the sometimes harsh environments, vigor effects, at least my state of mind and vigor. As I glance toward Azam, does not appear to be doing quite as good. His movement is labored, his breathing is heavy. Spontaneous bursts of calming ripple through his body. He's clearly not well. Well, this can continue to treat him. Our journey to Multan has unfortunately brought us to direct the wastelands of Sibi. Though we're not prepared to undertake this long stretch without a single source of water, and many of my companions began to look as awful as dried turnips. I need to do something fast. All seems less parched than the rest of us, so no water found for the interrogation. We're gonna get danger at every single place we come across to. Not this one this time. Just had to get out of these hellish mountains, basically. Slope. Hopefully we'll better get back here soon before unrest returns, and therefore travel's not recommended. How long has it been since I last felt the warmth of another person against my skin? This pilgrimage has taken me far away from home, as well as my comforts. Oh, how I yearn for desires of flesh. These fantasies won't stop flooding my mind. I feel myself tempted to give in to my desires so I can focus. This niggly feeling is an annoyance I must rid myself of. But of course it's now about risk. These are different lands than my home. Maybe taking advantage of this moment of weakness. Just one night of comfort. So later, but she joins my court. So how'd you like to be my concubine? Or, says labor but doesn't say become lover, but does join the court. I'll check back in a moment. Salt rumor the river have been falling for a while becomes stronger now. Some members of the entourage talk about making a short stop and get some water and rest their feet. There's a stone bridge when the path turns. A couple of men with the rest of their backs against the parapet. Another one hits on the other on the side of points our group. The third man comes up the shore. Another looks out a swimmer. You know, he says, this is actually a tall bridge. How brave you. Suggest it. Let me show him. And the Bennett's attacked him. Right. Yes, that's just lady. I have no choice but to make you my concubine. She's a Punjabi woman. Welcome. As my official liaison went forward, I must face the consequences of choosing a lowborn for concubine. Society does not look well into such prospect of be it for love or any other reason. My prestige and the renown of my dynasty now suffer the nasty effects of such bold yet shameful move on my part. Oh, damn it! What have I done? No, I cannot go ahead like this. Get out! Get out! Get the hell away from me! Oh, what have I done? If anybody finds out about this... Visit this temple. I'm finally here, body and soul at the great temple of Multan. As the Flaman, now for any blessings, I reflect on everything I had to happen for the Zun to bring me here at this moment of time. I have walked the holy path. So for increased bit of travel speed and safety, just to make travel a little bit easier for you, hopefully, on the way back, once we're done here. Oh man, my courtier peers out over the sprawling holy side of Multan as we make our way through the crowd. Multan is truly a sight to behold, a place where faiths, cultures meet and come together to worship. Are we not blessed to get to experience such familiar companionship? Looks me expectantly. Defeat spirituality can achieve. Pay the ransom. You got it. Pay up. Didn't know I took him with in his travel. But at least you'll be a pilgrim too. As I stroll around the streets of Multan, I stop in front of a small temple. The building is comparatively bland and humble, but a small crowd of pilgrims gathered in front of it. When I'm moving closer, I realize they're scratching their heads trying to make sense of the plaque next to one of the guardian statues written in a foreign language. This could be an opportunity to do my fellow pilgrims a service. What does that plaque say? 52% chance that's deciphered, 47% chance that it remains a mystery. Deciphered it. Remember, I'm a one-legged man. I can't do well in combat anymore, but at least I could try to be a good military commander once I get the commander traits due to the martial lifestyle. I preach the wrath of Zun, which increases a bit of dread because of my zealotry. As our time at this sacred site draws to an end, I feel reassured that, while I may not have been the most pious pilgrim out there, through my dedication to the sun in more ways than one. This being my first pilgrimage, while no pilgrimage is exactly alike, I feel confident that I'm more familiar with what to expect from this type of spiritual journey in the future. Multan, it's been an honor. So, therefore, 225. So you gained it. Don't worry, we'll be there in no time. And thank you very much for the large amount of gold we gained. I'll start spending it once we get back. Because the journey home is still going to be perilous. Especially when we get up in those here mountains. And it'll be winter. Oh dear, the winter. Now that I've realized it. We're making good time in our efforts to reach them in a flat self-thaw allows us to lower our guard for a few moments. When we reach the peak of the valley and look below, I noticed another entourage diligently pacing forward. They seem to be surveying the area, taking notes and discussing the scenery. Still observing the group would appear to masked riders who've raised weapons and quickly approach from the east. It seems like an ambush, and I hesitate. Is it really my responsibility to safeguard the other travelers? Well, I'm a shy person. I would say, why should I get involved? But I must act, and then that would be a feat of bravery. Well, I'm more brave than shy, so gotta act now. Me and my entourage ride headfirst into the would-be assassins, blindsided them completely. How incompetent do you have to be not to have a clear view of your rear? We easily slice through a few that resist, and the rest run off in the wilds. I look up to see Maharaj Mara staring at me, eyes wide and mouth slightly agape. He snaps at it. His facial features adjust. He still seems surprised and grateful for my intervention. He beckons me to come over. It was the right thing to do. Increase my rush by one and gain chivalrous deeds for that. We'll stay here for a while. And damn it, muddy roads again. So we're going to be here for a little longer then. Overstaying our welcome. Back into the desert again. It's just dry lands now, then we'll turn to desert. Truly, a stroll through Jampur is a gift from Zun. The tranquility of this place is suddenly abruptly broken by the furious grunts and clattering of arms. Hark! Get me out of this metal prison. My squire took offense at my manner. He was going as far to call me heartless and has abandoned me. Whatever this strange man did could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his armor. I could have, of course, have someone help him, but is it truly worth it? Consider the armor gone for a price. Slope. On our way through Rajanpur, we appear to have stumbled on the local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue climb around the exotic food stalls, the air thick with fragrances I never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I'm pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of matter. Do not waste your power on this slab, my lord. Bowls of pakala are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. I can't believe I almost ate this garbage. Just we're about to break camp in the morning, on our way to Zunbil, I find Marek in his lodgings, breathing heavily and as pale as a sheet. He went to center my scrutiny and lets out a bellowing cough. Did you eat that crappy food? Did he contract something? Is this an epidemic? Can you treat him? Which he will, and therefore ill is gone. No danger here. Fortunately, we are far south enough where we will not see winter. 48 gold, that's good. Now we're entering the mountains. Every morning since we've reached Sibi, my diviner Marek leaves his litter and silently glides away from my sight. This time, I decide to follow his path and find him have a lively chat with a local courtier, Ari Singh. The ceremony begins and the light of candles illuminates Ari Singh while the shadows play against the walls like autumn leaves. Marek, I call him first. What are you doing? My liege, it just occurred to me there may be more than one truth. There's room for a calm debate here. He's angered by my narrow mind. As I manage to get through the dangerous path, in Sibi beside the rest of the night, as I walk around the encampment, suddenly a strange feeling that someone's missing bothers me. I ask around, everyone agrees on one thing. They don't remember seeing good environment all day. My goodness, my son! That is worrisome. He's still just a child. What if he got lost somewhere in the desert along the way? He's probably lonely and more importantly starving. That's my son. I'll find him myself. Found him and brought him back. Grew closer to forming a rivalry with me. Oh, I don't want you to get lost to get on your own adventures. You probably have water. She still says no. Unrest is starting again. Oh, we better get home soon before everything goes to heck. Don't worry, we'll be there in time if we don't get too many delays. Well, we'll find food from locals. We don't care about the locals here. They're not in my country. One foot after another, I slowly move forward on a narrow mountain trail. Suddenly hear a rumble and quickly silence scream. Shocked by the commotion, I whip around. Instead of Moose gone walking behind me, there's only an equally befuddled, tired face of Mole standing in front of the fresh turnouts. Where is Moose gone? I demand to know. Oh, voice fairly skimmed my drum. The only response is a faint whistling of wind. Witness a court decision. I'm looking at all of you. She's one of the good ones, right? 1 second. Physician. Yeah, she's average. She will be in our prayers. We'll let her die for this. See too if we could find a physician that's more loyal. We're traveling without a physician on our way back. We should be alright. The world is full of dangers, even to Zamindawar Shah and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. Now they assembled a few options to choose from. Apparently, Jah is quite experienced. He's a Mozart. He'll do. Plus, he's a novice physician. My journey's been a long one, but I finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the Flamens treat me. I've undergone a journey of a holy man. They insisted it's changed something about me where I can see myself or not. Oh, I've changed alright. I lost my leg. That's what's changed. We are so close to reaching that. And meanwhile, who the... Where did that come from? Guess they recently took Samarkand, the Sogdian realm. Well, oh, what else? Again, when that day comes, when we offer vassalage, not as rightful liege, I'm well aware. Once I get to Kabul, will not be distant, and you'll be the rightful liege. You may be arrogant, but you'll soon respect me for this. In fact, I may have to do a befriend scheme on you, because that may help. Who knows? So, what month are we in? Oh no, you're way past that. Because I was about to say, there's better ways to get a little bit more piety. Because I would like to end this episode by restoring the idol of Zun. But I think the best way to do so is, well, we gotta go sacrifice a goat. We seek the blessings of the gods, and the way to do so is sacrifice our most sacred and pure animal, the goats. So anticipated rewards from hosting goat sacrifice activity, piety and prestige. Chance of gaining beneficial character modifiers depending on your virtues, sins, and the activity options you select. So you have to be either a Zunist or a Peristani, the Dezawazes. Well, we could do it right here. You can't do it on any other place because it has to be in the capital. Don't need to travel. I'm willing to spend quite a bit of fortune that for Zun, our sacrifice of goats will be nothing short of spectacular. Sacrificing more goats will increase rewards as well as increases the chances of getting a beneficial character modifier. Worship and reputation. Has to be worship. We'll focus on the religious dimensions of the goat sacrifice. And if anybody cares, anybody can join up on this here ceremony. It'll be 20 days. Again, I've never done this before, because I never spent time that much as Zunist, nor as the other faith, to do this little activity. It's the first time ever for me. My daughter, Prejig. According to our traditional Zunist beliefs, goats are held in high regard, sacred even, for they represent purity. That is not to mention the importance of goats to our survival and our prosperity. Therefore, to sacrifice a goat to the heavens is perhaps the greatest sacrifice I could perform, even as a Zamindawasha. Let's get ready for the sacrifice. As a Zunist, there's one chief deity we mainly sacrifice to. Zun, of course. We will bring the goats to the local shrine, where somewhere in the more remote valleys or mountains, untainted by the pollution of impurities, where we could be closer to Zun. May Zun accept my sacrifice. So, 25% chance nothing happens, 29% chance that I gain Zun's blessing and be a minor one, 25% chance for a major, 19% chance for great, and I'll gain 50 piety regardless. I have gained Zun's blessings, major. They say this character has received a major blessing from Zun, the Justice Giver. The next 5 years, so a bit of increased piety, prestige, and renown, as well as the lifestyle experience. So again, 50 and 150. Every participant, the goat sacrifice is over. May Zun be pleased with the purity of these goats. Yes, I'm a devoted servant. And let's end the episode on this note. The idol of Zun once stood proudly in Zamindor as a symbol of the Justice Giver's divine authority. Let us recreate it. We'll gain 200 piety. I'll gain another level of devotion and be Paragon of Virtue. And for the rest of my life, as long as I'm careful, that I will have restored the idol of Zun, which diplomacy per level of devotion goes up. So is the piety, monthly piety goes up, 0.5 a month. And the faith creation and reformation cost is reduced, makes it cheaper. And here, in Zamanawasha, it's where the idol of Zun will be located, which will give us more holding tax and control growth, and further increases by 10. Now for historical context of what they're talking about. Several contemporary sources, like the Buddhist monk and pilgrim Xuanzang in 7th century, and the Muslim historian al-Baladuri in the 9th century, describe a golden idol statue of Zun, or Zuna, depending on how you spell and pronounce it, in a popular shrine of Mount Zunagir in Zamandawa that was sponsored by the Zunbil state. According to al-Baladuri, when the Arab commander Abdul Rahman bin Samura raided the Zunbils in 653-64 CE, he reportedly broke the idol's hands and plucked out its ruby eyes to prove to the locals of the powerlessness of their deity. This will cost us 40 gold and 79 prestige. Send for the artisans. In the days of yore, our predecessors maintained a beautiful idol of Zun in Zamindor, where devotees of the Justice Giver could praise him and received the blessings of the priests who dwell there. Yet dark days soon fell upon us, when we were loyal followers of Zun, had to wait in the shadows, hoping for the era where you could properly honored again. Today, that era has arrived. With the revival of the worship of Zun in the area, I've set aside funds and organized an effort to rebuild the idol. This large, imposing statue is crafted from pure gold to replete with the eyes of ruby, taken from the remote ruby mines of Badakhshan, and been placed on the sacred Mount Zunagi, like before, where it stands proud. Praise Zun! As we mentioned of all the benefits it will give us. Now that the idol of Zun stands proudly as a Mindar once more, local Zunist rulers can take the decision to offer the riches to the idol of Zun to receive boons of piety, prestige, and renown. Centuries ago, the idol of Zun stood proudly in Zamindawar as a symbol of Zun, and the devotion and piety of his followers. Now the great golden statue, adorned with the eyes of ruby from Badakhshan, has been resurrected thanks to the efforts of Zunbil Shah Firuz, surely a sign of the revival of Zunist fortunes. Great. So yes, now it's an activity you can do, which will give you prestige, piety. So it has to be either in Zamindawar or restored on Mount Aruna, which is over in Kabul, which we'll get there in the next episode. And the realm capital is close to or near the Zunist heartland in Afghanistan. So it is our righteous custom to give tribute to Zun in the form of our worldly wealth, so there's no better way to please Zun than providing these gifts for his idol. Again, we're not doing that, but I'm just here to show you. Give it more, just like with the goat sacrifice that we just did. But now it's not just myself that could do a ritual offering, it's for any Zunist ruler that would be willing to be generous, give your riches away, and give it to the idol. And I'm sure this doesn't mean that I would be the one that gains it. And so, hope you have enjoyed this episode, ladies and gentlemen, but even though it was quite precarious that I lost my leg, so therefore I wouldn't do good in combat anymore. But I still have I could still be an ex-commander. If I get involved in any form of combat, avoid duels. So we are strong enough to take on against any enemy that surrounds us, even a Habari Sultanate, so nobody can threaten us now. One thing's for certain, in the next episode we will conquer Cabal and then subsequently conquer Jidra, unless they wish to join us. Yeah, I think it would be wise to conquer this and then conquer that, form the duchy, and then Bamiyan will join us, as we'll be neighbors. And then subsequently the realm size will be 12. And more so, is to form the title of the Kingdom of Kabulistan. Which honestly, that would be the better option, but of course you need money. Lots of it. Which would mean that raiding is going to be encouraged again. I think it would be easier to raid the Indian realms. Yeah. Because I don't really need allies for this. So again, we'll sway this man, and we'll try to befriend him. So look, even if you bring him in, all we need to do is, actually he will be joining. Once, once we conquer Cabal, then he'll join us, and we'll be religiously protected, of course. because Mahayana Buddhism is astray to us. So that would be wise. So there's going to be a lot of movement that'll be coming up in the next episode. So I hope you people will join us for that. But until then, so long for now.